Hey guys, today we're going to be playing some Empyrion Galactic Survival. So it's basically a space survival game where you basically crash land onto a alien planet and you have nothing to begin with. You then have to run around, you have to find resources, that use those resources to build a base and obviously then spaceships and go off and explore the galaxy, all while under attack by the local inhabitants of the planet. So it seems a pretty good game. I've played a few hours already. We'll just jump straight into a new game to get going. We'll create a random seed. The difficulty settings that I found are going to be most rewarding when playing. If you basically set it all as medium to begin with, so you keep player, life stats and resources all the same. For enemies, you just increase the number of enemies and the amount of times they attack you, just keeps things interesting. We make the construction speed just a little bit faster than the standard of the game. Blueprints are basically pre-made ships and bases that you can spawn into the game. I don't intend on using those. I'd probably intend on building my own bases and my own ships. Whether they're good or bad is yet to be seen. But we'll keep them there for we can spawn an unlimited amount and we'll spawn them instantly if we do need to. We also are keeping block limits for certain devices as false. That just means that we can have unlimited weapons on our ships and things like that. And check mass volume just means we have to inventory manage. So you have a predefined inventory, you can't exceed that. It just means that as we progress through the game, we're going to have to expand our cargo bays and just do proper inventory management. And CPU points is basically when building ships, the CPU controls the ship. And you only have a certain number of points to allocate, so you can't make your ships infinitely big. It just adds a nice dynamic to the game that you can't just continuously build. You have to think about what goes where and what components you add to the ship. Makes it a lot more interesting. So yeah, that being said, we're just going to start on the first starting planet and go from there. Yeah, let's go ahead and start. Right, so as you can see, we're just going to crash land to begin with. I'm going to aim maybe for this large structure over here. So I'm going to just do the very first part of the tutorial. That will get us our first couple of levels. But after that, I'm going to just stop the tutorial and just kind of go off on my own and do my own thing. I'll probably revisit the tutorial after we build our first couple of ships, but for now just gonna crash land and see how things go. I'm also going to try and play this series as a hardcore mode, which means that if I die the series ends. I think if it just makes it a bit more interesting. I have to be very careful about living or dying, obviously. That being said, if I die in a very silly way, I don't know, maybe I'll carry on. That's yet to be seen. Okay, so we're just going to proceed with the first few messages. So this is the integrated digital assistant. It's like almost like an artificial intelligence, which just maybe helps you go through the game. I'm not going to read through all of this. You could, if you want to pause the video and read it, you're more than welcome to. It just kind of gives us a little bit of an idea of how to get things going. So first things first, we press F on the escape pod. That opens the inventory and we take out what we need. We get a survival tool, which is just the basic survival tool for the game. Just it allows us to find some resources and also defend ourselves. We have a survival tent, which again is like a sleep point. We have some emergency rations and some health. So it's a good way to start the game. So first things first, it says us we have to use the detector. So we'll do that now. The detector detects nearby points of interest as well as nearby deposits of resources. Fortunately here we've got copper and iron here. So there's three main resources when you first begin, which are copper, iron and silicon. And that allows us to get our base going. If you press M, brings up the map, so everything we can just see. So we can see our copper and silicon deposit. You can see where we are now, which is this. This is where we need to go to for the objective, and we've also got a damaged hoverbike and a large wreckage there. So we're actually going to come, this is where we're going to begin to build our base. We'll not build our base, but this is where we'll start off. But for now, we'll just go to the teleport station, where it's asking us to go. It's 300 meters away, so we'll just run there. These, it's very important in the early game just to pick up the plant protein that you see. So it's these two plants that I've found so far. The plant protein allows you to make energy bars, which is your first kind of point of food. It's again, it's a nice simple way to do it. What's important about the plant protein in the energy bars though is they don't degrade. So you've got the meats and animal products in this game do degrade. So I think it's quite important to obviously keep an eye on that. While we don't have a fridge and things like that, it's very important for us to make sure that obviously we keep an eye on that. So we just found the first point of interest. It's a teleport station by Polaris Megacorp. So we'll just kind of investigate here like it's asking us to do. So we'll, okay, enter, we don't have that. First evidence here. So this will prompt us a signal to go and find the next kind of crash site, I think it is. It will pop up on the map eventually. We'll scan here quickly to see what we've got. So we are near a resource here. We do need to find silicon still. I would think one of these is probably silicon. We'll just actually head there now. I believe one of them will be silicon. Okay, yeah, so it's popped up on the map. We have to go find this signal here. Before we do that though, like I said, I'm just going to get up and running. I think the best thing for us to do is to get the down here. There's a damaged hover bike, to get that working, and we'll do that first. So I'm actually going to head towards this large, excuse me, the large wreckage first. Head to the large wreckage first, and that'll be the best way to begin. Right, so we'll just which is this way. Okay, so like I said, as you go through though, we're just going to collect some resources now. This gun has this defense, it's like a survival tool, has a couple of different modes. You can go onto resource mode and you can use it then to harvest the stone. Just got to pick it up with F eventually. Here we go. Crushed stone is actually a very useful resource. It allows us to basically get any ore. So if you have enough crushed stone, you can turn it into any ore in the game. Well, any ore. You can turn it into iron, silicon, or copper, which makes it very useful early game if you run out of resources. You can also find these specific resource blocks, which gives you the actual ore. So you start with a survival constructor, which allows you to build a portable constructor, okay, which is like the first way of actually making items. It begins locked, so the first thing you have to do is move over to your tech tree, okay, and unlock it. I think it's under miscellaneous. Yep, so you just you unlock the portable constructor by double clicking on it. This is where you unlock all of your technology. The main ones are you've got your base technology, so when all the items for your base are in here. Then the kind of smallest ship in the game is a hover vessel, where you've got all of these things to unlock for your hover vessel. Hover vessels can't leave the surface of the planet, so they are restricted to maybe being a couple of meters off the ground. Small vessels are the next biggest ship. That can actually fly up into space and at least explore the solar system if you develop the warp core into the small vessel. And a capital vessel. The capital vessel is by far the largest ship, and that allows you to do cross solar system transport, and that's almost like a mobile base. That will be the end game, but to really begin this properly, you need to be much higher level and have a lot of resources already. So that's not something we can do just yet. But yeah, while we're walking over here, we'll at least begin making the portable constructor, and that will allow us again to build the items when we're here. We'll also just take this plant protein. The survival constructor, the portable one, sorry, that just takes 3 iron ore, I believe. So this rock is obviously a little bit bigger, has a few more hit points, and will give us a lot more resources. So it's worth stopping here now, just to pick up these very quickly. There's quite a few more. There's 24 crushed stone there, so that's actually quite good. We're almost at the large wreckage. Oh, sorry, this is the escape pod. I think the large wreckage is just past it. Again, we'll just get this larger stone now because it's worth it. It gives us a lot of crushed stone. It's very helpful in the early game just to get this done so we can at least make some basic equipment. Let's see. So we'll just take that and that. The other thing we need is some trees, is plant fiber. We'll come and get that in a second though. So we've got the large wreckage. Inside the large wreckage, we've got this cargo box here. Will usually contain a few important items. I'm not going to bother with the farming stuff. I don't intend on being in one spot long enough to farm. I'm going to make this game about exploring. We're going to build some big ships. We don't necessarily need the farms just yet, so I won't be doing that at the moment. So we've got the basic resources, and we just need to find that damaged hoverbike, which I believe is just there. Yep. So we've got the damaged hoverbike. This is what we'll build almost instantly now to start exploring the map properly. So seems like a good place to at least set up base camp. We have the portable constructor built, so we'll just pop that there. And we can use the resource mode of this just to clean off some of the, not dig holes or make big brown spots, but to clean off some ground here. I've made a mess already, but never mind. Okay, so the portable constructor just gives us access. If you look at our survival constructor, it's just the very basic items, whereas in here we've got much more advanced items, which is what we'll be looking to do. You put all your items in the inbox and in the input, sorry, and it allows you to then obviously build the items corresponding to the resources you've got. What's nice about this though is we have to usually manage our inventory, so we only can hold up to 500 volume. This is the only item in the game that I found so far that doesn't have an inventory, so you can put almost unlimited items in here from what I found. So we'll use it to store pretty much everything for now, which will free up as much as our inventory as possible. We will keep the gun on us though, and we'll keep the ammo on us. We'll turn that into food very quickly. So the core is like the CPU, that's how we'll start to build our base, but we don't need that just yet. And we've got a couple of ores and the motorbike construction kit. So the first thing we're going to do is just build the motorbike. Okay, that will allow us to get around the map a lot easier just to begin with, just while we look for the rest of the resource. Now, so the hoverbike. So you can click F to pilot the hoverbike, and if you press P, it brings up the kind of the dashboard of the hoverbike. It shows you what's going on. You can turn it on here if it's going to work, but unfortunately it's not working at the moment. You can refuel it, everything like that. If you click on devices, we'll just auto group them for now. It shows you what devices are on the hoverbike, and it shows you that we're missing a generator and a fuel tank. So we'll have to build these before we can turn this on. The CPU statistics is what I was talking about earlier about turning this limit on. So with a generation 1 CPU, you only have 5,000 points to spend. At the moment, the device has already spent 1,743. So we've got a fair amount left to spend, but it just means we can't infinitely make the ship big. So you can see the hull is taking up 59, but the devices is 1,684. Most of it is from the engines. So you can kind of see that we can't put unlimited engines because it takes up too much computing power. It just means that we have to work really hard to find 2, 3, and 4 to make the hover vessel as good as it can be. What's nice about that is, again, it encourages to explore. It makes us find the better resources that are needed to increase these CPU levels and obviously get the best ships. So the first thing we're going to do is obviously build the generator and the fuel tank. We can pop them here, G and F. Now, if I go into the tech, you can see the hover vessel. We already have these learned. So the small generator and small fuel tank. So we'll be able to build these immediately. Let's just see what we need though to actually construct them. So we can build the generator and we can also build the fuel tank straight away, which is great. And we can do that because we had a little bit of copper, we had the iron, and we also have the crushed stone, which will allow us to make everything we need. And the plant fibers, hopefully we'll have enough left over to build 1 unit of fuel. So let's have a quick look. Where is fuel? I think it's here. So let's see. If we can do the 1 unit of biofuel, that will allow us to actually build the bike. If we can do that straight away, I won't even need to bother with this motorbike. It's okay, but it only kind of goes in a straight line. It's pretty difficult to turn, so it's far better to get this up and running. Plus, the damaged hoverbike is a lot faster. In fact, I'm going to look at my hunger. So I'm just going to eat the emergency rations for now. Just gives me a bit more health back, and also gives me almost full hunger. So we'll turn this plant protein into energy bars now, so we can do that in our little survival constructor. Okay, so the fuel tank is, the generator is ready, so we can pop that in now. We'll just pop that down there. So if we go on F now, we can see, and then press P, we can see that the device it's just missing a fuel tank now. So as soon as we get the fuel tank in, we'll be able to turn this on. How are we doing for this? Okay, what's really nice about this game is when you click the item, it needs electronic, steel plates and optical fiber. The game automatically makes what you need if you have the available base resources, and I think that's just such a great idea. So you don't have to fiddle by building all the individual components to then build it. It just automatically does it. It just saves you a lot of time and micromanagement and just gets you to do some more of the fun part of the game. So we'll just pop the fuel tank in there. So now we have the fuel tank in. That is a completed hover bike, even if it is a bit banged up. So we'll just wait for the fuel to be made. I think we can only make one, but I think that'll be enough to just give us a couple of percentage of fuel. And once that's up, we'll be able to drive it over there and we'll get some more fuel straight away. So we'll just put the biofuel in our inventory. So the way to fuel up is just press P, and then you go on main, manage, drag the fuel into the fuel tank. Gives us 3%, but you know what? That will be enough to go Y, which turns it on, and quickly drive us over. Actually, that gives us 27.2 minutes of fuel, because the hover bike is, it's only got a few engines and it's got nothing else really. So you can see that down in the bottom right hand corner. It says 27 minutes. So trees is going to be our first protocol. We'll just turn it off now since we only have a little bit of fuel. And we'll go on to defense mode. And then defense mode allows us to chop down the tree. And that will just give us some wood, which we can then turn into biofuel, which will be how we obviously fuel the hovercraft to get things moving. So let's just quickly get that. So that gives us 12 wooden logs. So normally I would stay and get a few more wooden logs, but for now we'll just get them at least cooking. Is probably the best way I can describe it. So we'll just jump out, and obviously if you leave it on, it will stay hovering. We'll just pop the wooden logs in here, which allows us to make some biofuel. Okay, so now we've at least got that cooking. I'm going to just go and get some more logs now, just so we've got plenty. Yeah, so I'll just chop down some of these trees, and I'll join you back once that oh, alien bugs. Okay, yeah, I'm not even, you know what, I'm just gonna preemptively kill them. I don't know whether they're gonna, well, it would help if I loaded my gun, so we'll just preemptively kill these. Oh my, well, he didn't want any of it. Oh, this guy's a bit more interested. And he's dead as well. Okay, so preemptive, preemptively kill is much better rather than then just sneaking up on me. Yeah, so I'm going to just quickly, this is a big tree. So the one thing actually is about this is the bigger the tree, the longer it takes to chop down, the more wood you get. But you've got no indication that it's been chopped down. It just is, you just have to wait. So we'll wait to see how long, or how much, sorry, wood this actually gives us. But it should give us quite a lot because it's such a large tree. Oh, 11. Well, maybe not. Anyway, so I'm just going to turn this off. Actually, I forgot to turn this off. Right, so I'll join you back once I've chopped down some more of the forest, as one should, and got the biofuel all cooked up. So I'll see you in a bit. Right, so as you can see, I've got some more wood now. So it's 45 wood in total. It was that's plenty, and we've got 6 biofuel ready. So we can now, another way to put it in is just directly access the fuel tank, and then you can just pop it in there. So now we've got 23% fuel. That's more than enough to start exploring. Yes, so a couple of other things as well, which is really nice about this, is you've got something called the logistics network, which is like item Wi-Fi. So you can transfer items without being directly next to something. So if you press F4 while looking at it, I think I was a bit too far away. Okay, you can access the cargo boxes of things. This will become a bit better later on, but if you put a wireless connection on there, you can do it from very far away, almost 100 meters, and it just means you don't have to run to your cargo boxes every time. It's a really, really, again, innovative way of managing cargo. It's great. So what we'll do now, okay, is we're just going to go and explore this UCH signal beacon. Actually, no, we're not. what we're going to do is actually we're going to look for a base. Okay, we're going to look to where should we set up our first starter base, and we're going to look for the trader. So there's a trader on this planet somewhere, the same faction as this teleport station. So it's the Pole. I think it's the Polaris something mega corporation or something. And yeah, so we're going to look for their trader, and then we're going to build our base close to the trader, and that will allow us easy access to the trader, and will make our life a lot better going forward. Rather than having to fly across half of the world to find the trader, we'll just be right next to it. You can see the moon. Nice, it actually shows you where it is. Good, good. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to take everything out of here. I'm sure we have enough fuel now. Oh no, I've got too much volume. Okay, so what we're going to do, new plan. We're going to go into the tech tree, and we're going to just purchase the cargo boxes, and we're going to use our portable constructor to build a cargo box. We'll build 2 of them. Okay, and this will allow us to store a bit more on our hover bike. I think we've already got 1 cargo box, but it was only 125, so it's not really enough. So what we'll do is, when something's got a little arrow at the bottom, you can right click to choose which cargo box you want. So we're going to go with this one, for the main reason it stores the most. If you see volume capacity 250, this one's 125, 219, 235 and 125. So this one stores the most, so we're just going to use that. And in fact, we'll probably just put this resource mode, no, salvage mode. We'll just take off these side bits for now, and we'll put the cargo boxes there. Again, we're not going to be using this hover vehicle for very long. It's just to get things going. So end changes the rotation axis, and delete rotates it, so you can move the blocks to where you need them to go. So we'll just put that there and there. That'll do for now. So now we've got a couple of cargo boxes on here. We can fill the cargo boxes up instead with the food, and this is how the little logistics network works. So we can do from here, we'll just take all the items. So here we can now look at this, press F4, and you can see you can access all the cargo boxes. So cargo box 1 is 250, so we'll just put all the wood in here, in fact, so we'll just do that now. Okay, so that's 250 is being used on cargo box 1. Cargo box 1, apparently. We'll just add everything else. See how much we can do. Almost everything, and then the cargo box that it came with, 125, we'll pop them in here. And we'll take the rest of the wood out. And, well, since that's exact, F4, and we'll just pop that in there. So now we've freed up our own inventory a lot. We've only got 15 out of 500. The rest of it's in the hover bike. We can now pick up this, so we just press left shift and F, and that picks it up. We'll pick up the motorbike as well, and we'll pick up the tent. So now we're carrying everything on our inventory. We have everything in the hover bike. We're nice, completely mobile. We're going to go look for that trader. We have plenty of fuel. One thing you will notice if you go into the technical part of this, so I will be doing a lot of shipbuilding in here, so I'll explain how things work, or at least my understanding. If you click on statistics, you can see it just gives you a little bit of information about how fast the ship can go, so we can go up to 47 meters per second. It also shows us the thrust that we've got. So if we turn it on, okay, then we press P, it will show us. Okay, so it's not showing us any remaining thrust, which isn't the best. We're obviously quite heavy now with all the cargo on us and me. So I think the ship will be quite a little bit slower. It's a little bit more harder to turn, but at least we can get going. So first things first, I'm just going to look for the trading station. I'm going to head for the southern pole for now. We'll just add a waypoint there. We'll head there first, and I'm just going to explore the world now until I can find that trading station. Actually, before we do that, there's one more important thing we'll do. So we're just gonna have to rebuild the constructor. I just forgot to do this, so we'll just F4. We'll just take the main resource back out. So we need to build a detector. That's super. I don't remember the exact ingredients for it, so we'll just put everything in here for now. So a detector allows us to, it's a better version of this hand one. So the hand one, we do it in a hand, it shows you the close things to us, but we won't be able to do that while we're on the ship, so we'll need the ship version of the detector. So we'll do that now. It's detector, so it's locked at the moment, so we'll press F3 to get into the tech and see if we can build the detector. There we go, so it's 5 points out of 20 to unlock it. We'll do that now, which then means that we should be able to build it. We need electronics. I'm sure I've got electronics in here somewhere. We do, yep. So we can just pop that in here, and then we'll build the detector. That's building. We can take all this out, put everything back where it needs to be. I think it was mainly in RCF4. That's cargo box 1's full. Cargo box 1, 2, and here. That'll do. And then we can take the detector, put it in our hotbar, shift F7 to pick this up, and then the detector will just kind of pop in there. So when we go F and Y, 1 is now our new ship detector. It's a little bit further range, it will show us a little bit more. As you can see, it's showing us there's some stuff up here. There's a small ship here and there's a resource down here. So, but we'll head down to the South Pole first to see what we can find. Let's have a look. In fact, that's probably a good place to leave episode 1. In episode 2, we'll do the exploring together, and we'll go from there. But thanks very much. I hope you enjoyed this this first episode, and any comments in the feedback section would be really good. Just let me know how I can improve. If there's anything you want to see. But thanks very much.